Previously on Town Hall 11 Free to Play, we explored a resource where you can get base layouts fast, easy, and most importantly free. Today, let me show you how one base was crushed by two different armies. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joe. Welcome back for episode 50 of the Town Hall 11 free-to-play series. So, we are exactly 77 days into this series, and I went back and looked at the entire series so far, and we've covered 7 different major clan war armies, whether it's going to be lightning spells, or it's the miners and hog riders, balloons, dragons, electro dragons. There's all these different strategies available for you at Town Hall 11 if you just watch this channel. If you watch other channels, you're going to get even more confused by all the other armies that they're presenting to you on their channels. So it gets a little overwhelming, and it really says no wonder why a lot of players just go back to electro dragons, right? Because it's only one set troop and you don't have to do a ton of thinking. Which leads us into an email that I got last week, and I'm going to read one little section of it because this might be relatable to how you might be feeling out there. So Tim here says, the problem that I ran into last Clan War League is finding out that you can't really use the same army for every base at this level like you could at the lower Town Hall levels. That's absolutely correct. It's nice to know multiple different strategies as a Town Hall 11. Based on its composition, some are more susceptible to ground armies and others are weaker to air armies. But as someone without past Town Hall 11 through Town Hall 13 attack knowledge, I really struggle when looking at a base to determine the best course of action. Now, he goes on to ask that I do a video on a variety of bases. Now, based on our last episode, there are thousands of bases out there. I could never cover every single base, but I have covered multiple strategies, and there's only like about 2 or 3 handfuls worth of strategies out there. So let me tell you what's happening here. You're watching this series. Let's say that you're just watching my series and you're seeing all these different armies that I'm presenting to you, and you're not seeing it as the fact that I'm just giving you a different option that you might like to try yourself. You're seeing it as it's a clan war army. I'm going to go into my clan war, look at the base that I'm using or that I have to face off against, and I'm going to select from one of those 7 armies and try to pick the best option for this base. All you're doing is stressing yourself out more and making it even more complicated by adding all these different armies that you have very limited knowledge on. And so let me be real with you about something real fast. When I go into clan war leagues, because remember, we're not doing a lot of clan war because we're upgrading our heroes right now. When I go into clan war leagues, I go in with the mindset I'm going to use maybe 2 or 3 different armies. So if I'm facing off against a Town Hall 12 or a Town Hall 13, I'm more than likely going to use the Queen Charge Baby Dragon attack to get the 2 stars on that base. More than likely going to bring a battle blimp with some sneaky goblins or Yeti and Valkyries to take down the Town Hall, and I'm going to secure that 2nd star. Is this necessarily the best option for you? Maybe not. But if that works, it works. It works for me every single time. That's what I go with. Now, if I'm facing off against a Town Hall 11 and we have single target Inferno Towers, I'm more than likely going to use Ice Golems, Bowlers, Witches, and Bats because I know it works and I know how to manipulate that army to take down bases in 3-star. If I have to go against multi-target Inferno Towers, I'm more than likely going to use the hybrid attack because I have the most experience and practice using it. So I normally just go in with the mindset of using a handful of different armies that I have the most practice with, which leads us into the message for today. If you are inexperienced, pick 1 or 2 armies and master them, practice them, know them inside and out, understand what buildings need to be taken down to be successful with those armies, because today I'm going to show you the same exact base being taken down by 2 different armies because our attackers knew the armies that they were using. So let's take a look at the base that we're looking at. Very generalized base for our very generalized audience. If you're more experienced, you know how to take this down by multiple different ways. I could take down this base with 4 different armies if I wanted to because I understand the checkpoints of the armies that I'm using. So Royals is an air attacker. He uses balloons and lava hounds. He's mastered it. That's what he uses. He's very, very good with balloons and lava hounds. When we take a look at the next base, it's the same exact base design destroyed by BH, who uses a Pekka Bobat attack strategy. 2 different armies, ground and air, take down the same exact base because this is a very easy base to negotiate. It is fully maxed out minus the walls, but let's watch and see what the checkpoints were for the Lalo attack. We have lightning spells in our composition, so when we look at this base and we understand how to use the balloons, lava hounds, what do we need to take out? We must get rid of the clan castle troops. We would like to get rid of the eagle artillery. We need to deal with these air sweepers. We would love to get rid of an air defense or 2, but that might not be be the case, and we most importantly have to destroy the Archer Queen. So this is exactly what Royals is going to start out by doing first. He's going to drop his lightning spells in the center of this base, drop his earthquake spell, and he's going to eliminate that Eagle Artillery and the Clan Castle troops, as well as both of the air sweepers. He no longer has to worry about them. The next target here is going to be the Archer Queen, so he's going to use a little bit of some suicide heroes. He's going to drop that Barbarian King, he's going to drop that Archer Queen, and he's going to release a few wall breakers to open up this first compartment to grant access into this area where the Queen is located. King is going to take the single beam from the single target Inferno Tower. His ability will be used, but he's going to get roasted immediately. This Queen is going to take out the enemy Queen. Queen on Queen action, she's going to eliminate her, and then her ability is going to be used and remove the first single target Inferno Tower. The task here is complete. The checkpoints have been met, and now we can start working our balloons and lava hounds in. So Lava Hound is going to come in, block for the balloons. You will notice that there's an air defense here, which is going to be tied up by that Lava Hound, and the balloons are going to target these buildings right here. So we got the first group of balloons moving in. The next Lava Hound is going to be dropped in the northern point to target this air defense, and a group of balloons are going to work in with the Grand Warden. Stone Slammer is also in this composition, and it's going to be dropped on the opposite side of the base to target this air defense as well as some defenses on this side. The haste spells are used to move the balloons through the center of the base, which is the most densely populated with defenses, with hidden Teslas and wizard towers. Wizard towers versus the balloons is very, very dangerous. Now we have single targets, so we don't necessarily have to worry about the Inferno towers too much when it comes to the balloons. But we got a freeze spell drop to stop that expo, give these balloons time to move through the haste spells, take out those wizard towers, move into the final, actually the second to last air defense, and then they're going to move into the single target Inferno Tower, group up, go on these point defenses, and we also have minions around the backside of the base. Now the one thing about this base that's very, very dangerous is that we do have air set skeleton traps chasing our balloons. We're going to see a freeze spell dropped on that wizard tower to give these slow moving balloons time, and then the Grand Warden's ability will be used to get the balloons through the final defenses. The Archer Queen has worked her way around the bottom side of the base to take out that final wizard tower, and now we're on cleanup. So I mean, we just saw how Royals was able to negotiate this base, but will BH do it the same exact way? That is not going to be the case. We're going to go ahead and speed it up. That way you can see the final army for yourself. But this is just one example of negotiating a common base design with one particular army. But now we're going to jump into a ground army that also can take down this base. That does not mean that those are the only two armies that will work on this base. It just means that these attackers knew the armies that they were using, and they used that to their benefit. All right, so let's go ahead and flip the switch with a ground army on this same exact base. Now, I have watched this replay a few times to pick out the details on why it was successful for a 3-star. Now, there are some errors in the attack that I want to point out at the beginning and near the end. And I'm sure that BH didn't necessarily mean to, make those mistakes, but it is still a learning process for a lot of different players, even players here in Battle Elite. So he's going to start out on the left side of the screen with his P.E.K.K.A.s, bowlers, and heroes, but he did not do a lot of funneling down here on the bottom side of the base. Now, when we think about using the P.E.K.K.A.s and the bat spells are very, very weak to multi-target Inferno towers, and they are also very weak to wizard towers. So when we look at a base and we determine that all of the wizard towers are grouped up together like they are right here, you should be able to get your P.E.K.K.A.s, bowlers, and heroes to the center of this base, and then the bats can come around the top side and clear it out. Now we have all of the expos right here, and if the Barbarian King would have come inside, we might have been a little bit more successful with our bat spells. But let me show you how this works out. It's a combination of bad funneling / not enough troops in the center of this base. So like I mentioned, we're going to start on the left side of the screen with 5 of our P.E.K.K.A.s to start clearing out buildings. Now these P.E.K.K.A.s, you really want your P.E.K.K.A.s to go inside the base, but unfortunately we have some that are going to stay on the outside. We have P.E.K.K.A.s, we have Wall Wrecker, we got Barb King, Queen, bowlers, and then we're going to see some healers dropped. You normally want your healers to stay with your bowlers because they are a little bit of a squishier unit and they will die faster, but instead the king stays on the outside because they were not funneled properly. So because these buildings are right here on the bottom side, the king and a couple of bowlers and the healers are going to stay on the outside. That's not necessarily a good thing for this attack. Now, that wall wrecker is moving its way towards the town hall. We got a rage spell drop to get rid of the enemy queen and the single target inferno tower, and we're trying to get our troops into range to clear out these wizard towers for our bat spells. Poison spell drop. We got a bunch of archers and witches inside the clan castle. Grand Warden's ability is going to be used to keep that wall wrecker alive, to get through the next layer of defenses, and they're going to arrive on target on the town hall. Now, there appears to be some giants and a P.E.K.K.A. that came from the wall wrecker. The town hall is going to fall, and you will notice that the bowlers and the queen are able to eliminate the eagle artillery, and they're doing damage to these wizard towers. They are ultimately going to destroy the wizard towers. Now, the placement of the bat spells, perfect. They're going to come around the top side and take on these point defenses, but they also have to deal with these expos. Now, expos are fast. They will destroy bats really quick, so they are also a problem aside from your multi-target inferno tower if those were available on this base, as well as the wizard towers. So let's see how this develops. We got bats coming in. We have 3 freeze spells in the composition to stop defenses from targeting our bat spells, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case. The expos have transferred over, and they also found themselves a tornado trap, which kills off a bunch of them, kind of weakening them and slowing them down. As they move through the backside of this base, now we have to start using freeze spells to try to keep them alive, but it just was not enough, and we're going to actually lose all of our bats. So this is the result. You'll notice that the king is on the outside. His ability has not been used yet, and we have one single ice golem that probably should have gone with the main group of troops in the center of the base, because that would have helped out dramatically. So instead, he has to improvise and use his freeze spells to try to keep his queen alive to get through these final defenses. She will get some damage on that expo, but unfortunately this cannon will be successful in killing her off, but the Grand Warden is just strong enough at his current level of level 20 to eliminate a few defenses while the king blocks and keeps these defenses distracted. So even though there were some major mistakes done in this attack, our attacker was able to shift his plan and still negotiate the base and be successful with the 3-star. So there's a couple of lessons to be taken here. Funneling is still very, very important no matter what town hall level you are, and you also need to fully understand your attack and how to manipulate it if things go south. So we've seen this attack fall, or this base in particular, fall to both air and ground. Let me do a little bit further explanation after this. So going back to the original email, are there certain bases that are built to stop certain armies? Absolutely. Those are normally considered meta bases, meaning that those bases are built to stop whatever's popular on the internet right now. If it's going to be lightning spells and witches, lightning spells and dragons, those are normally what those new bases are built to stop. A lot of times out in Clan War, you're going to see a lot of the same common bases over and over and over again, and then when you start crossing into the Clan War leagues, depending on what league you're in, you're going to start seeing some of those more meta style bases. It again depends on what league you're in. Now, are you expected to know all the different strategies available out there to stop those or take down those bases? Absolutely not. It really depends on how much you play the game and how invested you are in the game. If you do not play a lot and you just want to do some casual Clan War, pick one army and go with it. If you want to learn all those different armies, you have to practice those individual armies and understand the full checkpoints of what makes those armies successful. And that is my advice for you today, guys. If you are struggling in Clan War, start with one army, master it, move on to the next army. If you can 3-star consistently with one army, you have fully mastered it and you have a generalized or a very good understanding of that army, and now it's time to move into something else. Normally, I stay with ground and then I start dabbling in air, but if you might go in reverse, you might be more of an air player and you want to start playing with a little bit of ground. It really depends on your play style and again how often you play. So hopefully the information in today's video was helpful for you, and I really hope that it all made sense. It's very, very confusing because we have a very different and generalized audience out there. Some of you understand and some of you probably have no clue what I'm talking about. But hopefully you enjoy the content today. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you have not done so already, and if you like watching us quite regularly, turn on those notifications. If you need any additional video support or you want to see the Town Hall 11 free-to-play series from the very beginning, click one of those links over there and we will see you in the next one, guys. Take care.